So we developed a demand model. It sounds like ancient science now, 8 years later, for what the hospital bed requirement would be in Central Florida. We then laid our own market share and our facility penetration throughout the market against that model and concluded that it was our community responsibility to at least keep up with that demand growth and to give ourselves some capacity for growth beyond those numbers in the future. So think of it as a 10, 15, maybe even 20-year process to make sure that you, as a community benefit, imagine if we fell down on the job and failed to anticipate the growth in the community and we didn't have beds for people. That would be an abject, complete failure of an organization like Florida Hospital. So we said we have to get serious because we have to model the capital, and it takes years to plan hospital buildings and put them up. So we did the demand model. It took us about a year and a half. We actually dimmed the lights somewhere in Denver because the supercomputing, we literally rented supercomputing capacity to run through these cohorts, gender, population, income, all kinds of different factors that actually, believe it or not, drive hospital demand. And we came out with our model. And so we went about investing in our campuses very methodically. Starting with Altamont on this slide, you can see a completely new front, the bed tower at Altamont that obscures what was behind it there in 2000, which was the old tower that when that hospital started up in 1974. And we had expanded on that and out to the side of it there. But we had to really get serious about the emergency room, surgery, and inpatient beds. So we have a completely new front on the Altamont facility, and that has proven to be vitally important to us in keeping up with emergency demand and admissions even in the past few years. Apopka is a place that we've had since the district handed the hospital to Florida Hospital in the mid-70s. And the hospital there has a new front, a new medical building entrance, and we're right now investing in rehabilitating and improving the patient rooms. And we're going to need to do another ER expansion project because of the growth of volumes out there. At Celebration, which I had the privilege of being part of in the 90s as that project was developing, you can see the picture of the front of the place in the year 2000. In 2001, something important happened. I left Celebration as the administrator, and things got a lot better. And so now they have this incredible demand that you can see under construction as we speak. It's a 64-bed tower. It'll actually take 128 beds. You'll see the theme. We always put extra floors on our buildings for future growth. And so that's essentially a 128-bed tower and a tripling of the emergency room space there and a bunch of in-core ancillary services that have to grow when you add a wing on of that size. So Celebration is on the move, and market is going to grow there, and we need to keep up with that. East was another interesting development. This picture on the left is the way that hospital basically looked, except for the emergency room we added in the late 90s, from when that joined the Florida Hospital family in 1990. And we were clear that not only, our board was very clear with us, the Florida Hospital Board, that East Orlando needed some substantial investment, needed to be rebranded, if you will, and it needed a whole new capacity because of the demand population growth there. So you see on this picture, those of you who travel the 408 from the east side of town or spend much time out in the university area, you probably watched that campus be transformed. And so now it's expanded tremendously, and we have several floors for additional growth there in the future, and probably looking at some more emergency room expansion. Now, this is an interesting story in Kissimmee. Just a little history lesson. Florida Hospital Kissimmee joined our family when Rick Scott was in the process of forming HCA Columbia. And there was a little problem in that market. They had too many hospitals, and the Florida Hospital Kissimmee, in a settlement, was settled to Florida Hospital. And we have not gone away. I think there was the expectation as we negotiated the CON agreement for Celebration that, and I think the market, including many people at Kissimmee, Florida Hospital Kissimmee, thought we had basically got that to trade it in on Celebration. And we never did. We've invested consistently at Kissimmee. We now have plans for more investments for the emergency and surgery core. But in this, just the past few months, we opened the facility you can see on the side with doctor's offices, outpatient facilities, a number of things that are attracting physician traffic to the campus. And we have a very strong competitor with HCA Osceola Regional in Osceola Market, and we intend to continue to invest in Kissimmee because we think the community wants that to happen. Winter Park Memorial Hospital, we will feature later. I'll talk a little bit about it because I want you to think of it as a case study for what you're facing right now, but you can see a quick picture here of investments in an aerial photo where the new front with the tile roof you can see there in the women's and the new OB pavilion, the baby place at Winter Park. And then lastly, as part of this investment, we went pretty big with the Orlando campus. You can see in 2000, Florida Hospital's signature tower was the main feature of the campus, and we've dwarfed it with the Ginsburg Tower on the bottom right. That is a 450-bed tower. We built it with 150 spare beds. We're already getting into those floors. And we built a world-class emergency room. There's no other way to put it. And we got our cardiac services, which have been a signature of Florida Hospital for many, many years, out of the basement and into pristine space on the first 2 floors above the ER. So that's the Ginsburg Tower and the flagship campus investment we made in Orlando. And again, the board was very clear that we needed to make a strong statement and a strong investment in the future of that what was then a tertiary and now a quaternary healthcare campus. And then lastly, Florida Hospital for Children. Thanks to some great philanthropy and some relationship building with the Disney organization, we have made an investment and branded the hospital facility for Florida Hospital for Children at our downtown campus as the Walt Disney Pavilion.
A magical alliance announced in Central Florida today.
Disney and Florida Hospital are teaming up.
Two big names in Central Florida are coming together.
Disney and Florida Hospital are teaming up.
Disney and Florida Children's Hospital are a team now.
The hospital will carry the Disney name. Walt Disney World teaming up with Florida Hospital to build a new children's hospital right here in Orlando.
The pairing could revolutionize healthcare in Central Florida.
At Florida Hospital and Florida Children's Hospital, we've been serving the community for almost 100 years and caring for children. A few miles from here, Disney has been equally passionate about making dreams come true for children.
Today, we're here to honor another legacy, and that is the ongoing relationship between Disney and Florida Hospital.
Florida Children's Hospital will become the first hospital in history to bear the Disney name.
We're all about making children happy. They're all about health and making children healthy. I think when you combine that together, it's a very powerful 1-2 combination. I think something that will really help move that children's care forward.
We have, as I mentioned, a lot of support from community philanthropy, averaging about $23 million a year in fundraising, and we've had some tremendous people helping us through that journey. People you would recognize: Al Weiss, Allen Ginsberg, Tony Nicholson, Harvey Massey, and then, of course, Dick Batchelor, who currently chairs our foundation board. So the story of that campus investment, as well as our annual capital investment in facilities, means that since 2000, we've put $1.7 billion into the Florida hospital system. When we get your handout to you later, I'll let you kind of go through these points, but these are just some reinforcements of the flagship resources that Florida Hospital would bring to Health Central as part of the system, and things that we believe would give you tremendous potential for achieving your true vision over the long term. I want to talk about the real product for just a few minutes, the product of patient care. This is something that we are passionate about, and for the past 10 or 15 years, the healthcare hospital industry in particular has been responding to a national call to action on safety, doing a better job with our patients. And we, as an industry, felt we were doing a pretty darn good job given all the potent things we had to work with. But as it turns out, it's possible to do better with these potent tools and not quite have the harm that was occurring with our patient care processes.